Who else? How does the prospect camp work? Is it something that the Rangers do they invite the prospects? Do they say you have to be here, or is it just is it not what's the word I'm looking for? Non-mandatory. It's not mandatory.
But let me put it to you this way: since the Rangers started doing this camp, there's several reasons why they do this. The first one is basically, we're gonna just for an example. All right, you and Eddie, you played in the Western Hockey League. Eddie played in the Ontario League.
And I'm going to stop you 1 second. Eddie has joined us. Good evening, Eddie. How are you?
Oh, I just found out we're playing in 2 junior leagues.
Yes.
Hi, Eddie.
You're in the
Yodel.
You're in the Yodel League, and I'm in the Cupcake League.
No.
Okay.
You're in the better league. You're in the W. He's in the O.
Oh, okay.
If you weren't there, he gets first pick.
Okay, I understand.
All right.
So, Chess, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Good.
I'm
great. I'm looking forward to a nice couple of weeks without hockey, and man, I got a lot of work to do on my house. I never get sick and be able to look at your own house because.
Yeah, I know. It's rough doing the work on the house, and I'm glad you're able to do it. I'm glad you joined us. What have I missed, guys? What have I missed?
Well, we ran down all the draft picks, and Jess gave us a great explanation of what the US the USHL is, the hockey league, and all, because we didn't quite understand. So he gave us the breakdown on that. He likes the picks that they made. The Noro one is a bit of at least to me, a head scratcher. Samuel Noro in the 5th round. He's a big slab of meat on skates, but the
it'll be somebody Eddie's going to have lots of fun with.
Well, Jess, what was your? I know everybody in the audience, but just for my own, what did you think about the JT Miller pick?
Miller, he's. Everybody was upset with the pick, right, Eddie? Nobody liked it. You know why nobody likes the pick? Here's God's honest truth. Because, once again, Gordy Clark pulled one on people. Everybody was saying Tyler Biggs, Mark McNeil, this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, that guy, this guy, this guy. Nobody said JT Miller. Nobody even had him on the radar. And here comes Gordy Clark, who does what he always does. He says options are limitless. He picks Miller. And then if you look at Miller, there's not much difference between Miller, Biggs, or McNeil. They all do the same thing. The difference probably is going to wind up being Miller's probably going to be the faster skater.
Right. The way I looked at it is they got JT Miller and, in essence, Tim Erickson in the same draft. So the way I'm looking at it, it's a win situation for me to get both those guys.
You know that
right?
you took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, I'll tell you what. I'll go even further. The Rangers, before they even started the draft, were winners. For one thing, the Flyers, man. Thank you, guys. Go ahead, trade 59 goals out of your lineup. Give a guy a $9 million, a 9-year contract. Thank you. You just helped the Rangers move up in the playoff standings next year. And the Rangers didn't have to do a thing. You trade your captain, you trade your leading goal scorer. We slammed the Rangers for bonehead moves. Trust me. Go look at Philadelphia. Go look. How does a team, Eddie, honest truth, since 2004, Philadelphia has drafted a total of 9 goaltenders, and they can't develop one.
Wow, I didn't realize that Eddie dropped off the line. I don't know what happened. Either he lost his connection or something. But I didn't realize they've drafted 9 goaltenders since 2004. Is that what you said?
Yeah. You know how many games total all of them together have played?
At 2. The NHL level, I'll guess, 2?
2.
Jeez. All right, Eddie's
Wonder-
back with us. Eddie, did you hear that? What Jess was saying about the Flyers?
Well, I know he was saying the Flyers gave up a certain amount of goals, and I couldn't agree with him more. They really threw the baby out with the bathwater just to get a goalie for 9 years.
Yeah,
Well, he was just saying that since 2004, the Flyers have drafted 9 goaltenders, and they've played a total of 2 games at the NHL level.
Wow.
Oh, hey, I'll go one better. Did you guys catch the Memorial Cup, the final game, where St. John Sea Dogs shut out? They shut out Owen Sound and won. The winning goalie in that game was a kid by the name of Jake DeSers. The Flyers drafted him 2008 third round and said, "Nah, you know what? We don't want to sign you." He only won 32 games last year. He only was the most valuable player in the playoffs. Thank you, Philly. On behalf of Ranger fans, we thank you.
Well, you know what's got me a little concerned, Jess, is that, the departure of Evgeny Grachev, and that turned out to what seems to be he has to be traded, and then Ethan Werrick being sent to Phoenix. But some of these draft picks are finding their way out of the system fairly early.
Okay,
I'm a little concerned about that.
all right. Well, let's take the first one, Werrick. Okay, because I actually talked to Gordy Clark right after the deal went down, and Gordy Clark, basically, the trade was made not because of Werrick's work ethic. It's just that from the day he was drafted to that point where they trade him, he did not make the forward enough progress to make it worth the Rangers signing him. And it's hard to argue with him because Werrick was getting hurt. Werrick was, wearing a knee brace, wearing a wrist brace, and getting himself suspended for 5 games. You can't really blame the Rangers on Werrick. Werrick, it was just bad circumstances. He played on an underachieving Kingston team, a team that was built to win for the playoffs, but got themselves stomped night in and night out. Werrick basically is just bad luck. He couldn't stay healthy. Grachev, on the other hand, the Rangers do bear a lot of responsibility for that one. Everybody, when Grachev was with Brampton, Stan Butler was his coach there. Stan Butler and Tom Rennie are good friends. The reason why Grachev wound up in Brampton is because Tom Rennie asked him to take him, and he did. And when Grachev won the OHL Rookie of the Year award, Butler said he needs another year in the O. But the Rangers didn't listen. This is right after they fired Tom Rennie. Mm-hmm. They didn't listen to Butler. Butler said leave him another year, and they didn't. They sent him to the AHL, and he's an 18, 19-year-old kid. He's Russian. He's in Hartford. There's nobody for him to speak with. There's no other Russian players. The only man in the Rangers organization that speaks Russian is John Roscoe. So
right.
Think about it. The first time you were away from home, Eddie. Think about it. I mean, it's a scary situation.
Oh, sure.
I'm not letting the kid off the hook.
Right.
Because the kid knew. He told me himself. I interviewed him the day he was named OHL Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, I should say. And he said to me straight out that this is nothing like I'm used to. In Russia, we practice a couple of days, we play once a week, boom. Here, you have to work hard every day. He knew.
Right.
So, I'm going to say on this one, it's a 50-50 blame.
Mm-hmm.
The kid, and I'll tell you what, if let's be honest. I mean, how many people were going around calling this kid a bust?
Everybody.
Right.
I couldn't find anybody. I've always liked him. I don't know why, but everybody we've had on has told me that, one guy told me he's a floater, he's a dog, he's a this, he's that, and I just know what I if I could I just know what I see when I watch him as a Ranger. So I don't know. I saw him in the preseason. He looked like he could compete. He looked like he was better than average. He came up here for 8 games last year. They asked him to do a checking role. He certainly did that. I know he had no shots on goal, but he was playing a minute and a half, 2 minutes a night. He was asked to do a role. He did it. He wasn't lollygagging around the ice like I heard he was doing in the AHL. So I felt, okay, he's still young. Maybe he'll come around. I know and I do agree. He should have spent another year in the O. He should have, and I think you're certainly right about being acclimated to Hartford. Being American and living in Hartford is bad enough. If you're from Russia, it's a different. I mean, that place, this isn't like Fun City, USA over there. And I felt, being with the Rangers and around a guy like Anisimov and other guys, you know how these Russian players are with the language, and to have some camaraderie. But I do agree. I think you're right on. It's a 50-50 thing, because certainly you have to, you're a professional. You're being paid. You've got to come to play every night. But when I saw him in a Ranger uniform, I just can tell you, I've seen a lot worse come through this organization at that age. Okay?
Or older.
To get rid of him. Now, I don't know about the John Fogarty, the guy from Creedence Clearwater. There was the guy they got, Scott Fogarty, whatever.
Steve.
I don't know too much about him, so maybe you could fill me on him. I'm glad that great minds think alike. That me and Jess are on the same page.
Well, yeah. I'll give you a great example. You guys remember last year, Kirill Kabanov, the Russian kid?
Right.
Everybody hated him. Nobody liked him. He was this. He was that. Got chased away from Monketon. Got chased away from the Russian team. Lewiston picked him up November, and the first thing they did was they brought another Russian kid in, and they put him together as roommates. Kabanov and his kid Markov, they bonded instantly. Because they have already finished high school, they were going to all the little Lewiston schools, and they were going and spending their off time reading to kids. Kabanov goes from flake, crazy, strange individual to the best Islander prospect in the playoffs this year. He outplayed Nino Niederreiter. He outplayed Brock Nelson. He had a 12-game scoring streak in the playoffs, man. And all the difference is he had somebody to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those nuances that I don't think the Rangers even thought about. Go ahead.
It's the same. It's not only the Rangers that do this. It's a lot of teams. Let's take this. Let's go look at this trade for Jeff Carter by Columbus. How many years have they been trying to find a first-line center for Rick Nash? You're in the league. You're in the league since 2000, and you can't find one guy to play with your best player. You've had 10 lottery picks, and you can't come up with one guy. We're all worried about the Rangers. We don't, we're all getting upset with Sather when he gives out these fat contracts or when he makes a trade or something we don't like. Everybody that watches the Rangers should take a step back and go take a peek at some of the other teams. Because I'll tell you what, take that. When the Islanders took Ryan Strome with the 5th pick, I started laughing. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Did you, I'm glad you mentioned that because we had a lot of fun with that last night. Because they interviewed him on TSN and he's sitting there. Oh, I'm so happy I'm going to be, I can't wait to go play for the Islanders. I love the colors. I love the jersey. And I was sitting there, I was tweeting. Ryan Strome just said, oh, I'm so glad to be going to play in New York someday, to play on Broadway and for an Original Six team. Wait, what? I'm like, does he know it's the Islanders that drafted him?
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Well, no. Here's why I started laughing. You remember I was telling you guys about Jason Wilson